On this episode, we ditch our flag system and instead fix the foam markers on our Hardy sprayer.
Well, the good news is we got foam. Look, bad news is it's more like a bubble maker right now than it is a foam dropper. The kids will like it. You can go around and pop the bubbles, but it's not making enough foam. And there's a number of reasons according to the book it could be. One is that I could have an air leak, which obviously I do, because look, that canister up here is also leaking. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on here. So it's gonna take a little time and energy to figure it out. So here's what we've got going on. The foam markers aren't working. I can't see where I'm spraying in the field. These things should leave a nice white line or a bunch of drops of foam so I can see where I've already sprayed and even overlap a little bit, and that's not happening. So as I've said in the previous videos, I've been having to leave flags so I can see exactly where I sprayed and where I haven't sprayed. So I really want to get these foam markers working. And we got foam on the ground, but it's still not working like it should. Number one, the compressor doesn't seem to be working. So there's a compressor here that pressurizes the tank to push the solution, the bubbles, into the lines to make bubbles. And then it also needs air pressure. And so these thicker lines are supposed to bring the air pressure. And there's one for each side, the right side and the left side. The one side's working, it's sending pressurized air, but the other side's not working. And of course, the screws to open this box to see what's going on are rusted shut. So I can't really even get the box open to really dig into it. I may have to just break it open. The other issue is this thing is the foam maker. So it brings in the air and the liquid, and there's this mesh filter inside here, and it creates foam and sends it down the line to the end. This is leaking all over the place. So I got bad O-rings in there I gotta replace so that stops leaking, because if it's not building pressure in the line, it won't push the foam down correctly. And I think that's why I'm just getting more of a bubble maker on this side than I am foam. I might try to fix this to figure out why it's not pressurizing the right side when I flip the switch. It might be electrical, because it is working on the other side. So the compressor is obviously working. It must not be switching from the left side to the right side. It's like only works on the right side. One thing I could do, instead of putting a flag down, I come out here and I switch the hoses to the side that works. It should do that with a flip of a switch inside the cab. But for now, if that doesn't work, I could just come out and flip the hose around every time. Still annoying, but better than the flags. So that's an option. On the other side, oh, by the way, I just snapped this off again. It was just a valve to bleed the pump of air. And I was just walking over it and snapped it with my knee. Second time I've done it. I already fixed it once, and now I just snapped it again. Maybe I can fix it again. If not, I'm gonna have to go and get a new one of these somehow. So then on this side, we have that foam maker thing again. That's the thing with the mesh inside. And this airline should be going in there and creating a tight seal. Well, it wasn't. That's because this little fitting that creates that tight seal was broken. So I got to get a new one of these. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm going to buy a whole new one of these. You probably just can't just buy these. So that's what's wrong with the foam maker. Today I fixed the thing that stopped me the other day. This elbow, I didn't fix it. I bought a new one. When I was turning too sharp, the 3-point hitch thing hit this hose and just snapped it. So I was done for the day. But I think God had a plan, because it started raining about an hour after this broke, and my chemicals don't have a 4-hour rain period that they need to wait. What am I trying to say? There can't be rain within 4 hours of application. So actually it worked out for the better. Another thing I'm gonna have to figure out or deal with is the fact that I've got chemicals sitting in my tank, because I probably won't spray now for another 2 days just due to the weather and me fixing all this stuff. It's probably going to have a bunch of sediment at the bottom of the tank, which will get in the filters, which will create an issue with pressure to be able to spray. So I'm gonna have to agitate this tank to get all the sediment out the bottom, being that it's sitting this long. I don't think you normally want a tank full of chemicals to sit this long. And the reason I know that is because the other day when I was spraying, I stopped because my tank was empty. I came to refill and add new chemicals. It took about 2.5 hours to fill with the garden hose. After I did that, I went back out in the field and it wouldn't work. I couldn't get enough pressure in the system to spray at the right rate. I thought it was because there's air in the system, so I was using that valve I broke today to release air. The problem was my filters were gummed up. There's filters in several places on this. They were all just full of some of the solids that are in these chemicals that had settled at the bottom. Same with the filters in all of the tips. So this one isn't even that bad. but all that gunk is what comes through when you let the chemicals sit. And I'm afraid that that's going to happen again, and even worse, because it's going to sit for more than just a couple hours. It's going to sit for a couple days. So I'm going to go clean all the nozzles and the filters. And then I think what I'm going to do is go for a little Sunday cruise. It'll probably be a Wednesday cruise, but like a Sunday cruise, in the tractor and the sprayer around the property, and just hit bumps and hills and just try to slosh the stuff around to bring that sediment out from the bottom. And hopefully that'll help. But that's what I'm up against with this sprayer. And I got about half of the fields done so far, but I still have the other half. Luckily, they're not as bad, half, but they are getting pretty bad pretty quick. So that's where I'm at. We got to replace some O-rings that causing this thing to leak. So hopefully it fixes it. And if that doesn't help, we'll put some kind of sealant in there. Then this O-ring right on here is what's got to get replaced. Okay, hopefully that'll stop those leaks. So we got a couple fittings that were leaking as well. There we go. Okay, and then pop these guys back in. And that one back in. And that should be good. Now we got to go back to the other side. There we go. So it looks a little different, but I think it's essentially the same thing. All right, so then this goes in there. And so let's start up the foamer system and see if what I just fixed will make it work better. Take this little box. This is our foamer box. And we start pumping it up with air, which pressurizes this tank, which forces fluid into the tank, because fluid's got to get, basically it's bubbles. It's like bubble mixture. That'll go to the end through all those lines, and it'll drop foam. So it's got to have that fluid going, and then it's also got to have air pressure. So I think I have both now, but we'll see. Maybe it's pinch when it's all closed up. I don't know. We're getting fluid, but it's not coming out. It's stuck somewhere. Maybe it just needs to build up more pressure in the tank before it's going to start coming out. I don't know. That, or I'm going to try to open the wings and see if it just needs to be like out to work. That side should be working, but we're not getting fluid coming out this side, and I don't understand why. We're getting air, but no fluid. The only thing I think of is there's got to still be a leak somewhere. Why does it get so clogged over there? We have a pinch somewhere between this line and that line that is just not letting enough liquid get over there. That's the only thing I can think of here. That's the first problem. The second problem is the compressor to this side is not working. And I knew that, and I bought a little solenoid to try to replace in here. First, I want to figure out why that side's not even working. I guess we got to follow the line backwards and see if we can find a pinch. Okay, there's definitely a pinch somewhere because there's plenty of liquid in that line up here. So confused right now. Maybe this compressor is shot. That's the problem. That might be the problem. I just don't know. Maybe it's just not pumping enough. Or inside here, there's some things that are clogged. So I think we should take this apart, and I should probably mark the line so I know where they went, and I could use some special tape. Oh, that was close. I almost cracked my head on it. I guess I could use some electrical tape. So the ones with the electrical tape are closest. And this one I know because it goes to the top of the tank. This one's easy because it goes to the bottom. It's just making sure these two don't get mixed up with those two. And I guess worst case you can figure it out because you'll plug them in and they'll be to the opposite sides. But I should probably unhook it from the tractor so I don't have live power going there. So I'll electrocute myself. Okay, we're going to try to get these screws off. The other day they were all stripped, so I don't know how easy they're going to come out. just gonna have to bend it because these screws are stuck. I'll just have to bend it back. So I have a new one of these. Oh, I see. One of the electrical things came unplugged. That's probably why that side's not working. I really need to get this cover off. I'm not going to be able to do it unless I get the cover off. So I could just cut these screws off with a little tool. The other side. It'll just lift off and turn open. There we go. So now we got to figure out is the pump bad? It's definitely an old pump, but it says hard water conditions, use 1 gallon per 80 gallons of water. So maybe I just need to add a ton of this. It's worth a try, I guess. Okay, I forgot there's pressure inside there. I could have taken my head off had I had my face close to that. Oh my goodness. Maybe that's all it takes. All right. It even says right on there, warning, do not open this. Contents under pressure. But at least, like we said, we know that this tank does not leak.
Yeah.
Now, we'll build pressure again and see what happens. See a leak.
Oh, it's tiny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll just put a bunch of tape around that and see for now if that'll hold it.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
So we need to get that out and then let this dry for a second. Yeah, right where it kinks over and over and over. It might have the same issue over on that side because I noticed it was wet over there, but I just couldn't see a hole anywhere. And it was right in the same kind of spot, actually. Right there. It drops balls of foam every now and then. Today we're going to try to spray the rest of the fields. We are half done, but now that I have the foam markers, I don't got to use those silly flags anymore. I don't have to get in and out every time I turn. It's going to go so much faster, hopefully, as long as these foam markers work again today. And there's a little bit of wind, which isn't ideal, but it's not too bad, and so we should be okay. The other thing is the tank's been sitting for a few days with chemicals in it, which is not ideal. But last week when I was spraying, I broke the sprayer when I turned too sharp, and then it rained the next day or that afternoon, so I couldn't finish. And so, whoop, we're full. And so the chemicals have been sitting in the tank for a few days, and I'm a little bit concerned that all the solids in the chemicals, which isn't a lot, but it's enough to settle at the bottom, I think, and that when I start sucking out stuff, it'll clog all the filters, because that happened before the other day, and I was only sitting for like 2 hours when that happened. So I might need to drive around a little bit and like jostle the tank around. I think this tank has an agitator, which is this thing that will like mix it around for you. I just don't know how it works, and I don't have time to figure it out. So I think the quickest and fastest way to get to that point where it's mixed is just to drive around, hit some bumps, go fast, stop, all that, and it'll just slosh around. So we got to do that as well. The other thing we need to do is fill this freshwater tank. This is the rinse tank. And when you're done spraying, if there's some chemicals left in the tank, you can pull from here and then rinse the tank out in the field. The problem is it leaks right now, but I bought a replacement O-ring, and so we need to replace that as well. And then we're going to be good to go to finish spraying while it's a nice day. Okay, I believe these are the O-rings. Here's where it's leaking, it's dripping, and then pretty soon all the fluid drips out when I fill this. So there might be some fluid that falls, but it should just be fresh water because that's all I've ever put in here. So we gotta pull this out. And then there is an O-ring right there that I gotta get out. Like that, there's the old one. There we go. Okay, so let's stick it back in there. See if that stops it. Okay. this in. There we go. Okay, that should stop it. We'll fill it up and see if it worked. So far so good, no leaks. So I think that fixed it. Cool. That's fixed, so that's good. We are gonna have to purge the system. So I need to go to the edge of a field, which we can do down there. We'll start down there, make sure it's all working good. I gotta spray a little up by the house, but I don't wanna do that first in case it sprays too much and kills stuff. I'd rather kill where I can't see. And then we got 2 smaller fields way on the other end of the property. Should be good. Should I try the foamers and see if those are gonna work? The other day when we fixed everything. So we'll see. It's going to take a minute, I think, to like build pressure up. And the only other thing is that I don't know if it works when it's folded because it might like kink some of the lines. So we'll see. I think it's this side. Oh yeah, look. Check that out. There's a foam drop. So that'll make a mark. Let's see if another one will come out. I think it's got to kind of fill up the system here. Here it comes. Sweet, I think it's gonna work. And then I think as this thing's driving along, it's gonna be kind of bouncing, shaking, and then it'll drop foam. So we should be good. Let's check the other side. It'll probably take a minute to load up too. I hear something. Ooh, I see foam. That's so cool. Look at that. Those to mark my path anymore. Still got a ways to go on the freshwater tank. Let's check the hand washing tank. That one's full. That comes out right here. So if you get your hands full of chemicals, you can just rinse them off. Let's fold the sprayer back up. Remember, we gotta toss the tank around a little bit. Ooh, and I can't turn too sharp because I'll hit the thing again and break it. Okay, we're gonna go down there. I think I had like 2 strips and then we'll work our way that way, I think. There's a flag in the ground right there. Because that's how far over I went. So actually, you could turn this way and start here and go that way. Because I need to spray against the fence line too. To start. First I gotta back up to that fence line and just spray out to get it started. Open without hitting that fence. Okay, now we need to drop it down like that. So back up just a little bit more. Like that. Okay, let me think about what I gotta do now. I'm gonna be pumping, or no, I need to put the foam marker on that side, so I think that's this way. We'll get that started. Then I need to go out and switch my hydraulics and get the pump going now. Yep, I already see it foaming over there. Now I gotta push this level, pull this level back, I think. Should be good. I gotta turn it on, turn the booms on, and then we should be able to flip this switch and it should start spraying, right? I have no pressure back there. I wonder if this needs to be forward. Or maybe it's super clogged down there, or there we go, there's some pressure. For a second, I think I gotta purge the system now. It's not mixed enough. It's like straight sludge at the bottom. So I think I need to figure out how this agitator thing works. some pressure. We're at 20. Perfect. Look at that. It's working now. So whatever I just did turn on the agitator, and I think that circulated things. So now it's not gunky, hopefully. All right. I think that's all we needed to do. Now let's get the foam marker on this side working. There it goes. And we got to maintain about 6 miles an hour here. I think I need to go over a little bit. Is that foamer dropping stuff a little bit? Yep. Now we should be spraying. Oh, I gotta drop it down. I gotta go faster. We got 10.4 gallons per minute going. We got 6 miles an hour. We got foamer. Ooh, that foamer's hitting the ground. I need to raise it up a little bit. Driving over the beams a little bit. Get here, we need to shut them off. Right about there. Shut that off, shut the foamer off, switch it to the other side. No, I'm gonna wait. Okay. Now we need to try to turn and not hit the fence, which means I probably need to lift it. That thing. Oh, look at that. Just went around it. Okay. I think we're good. Now we're going to start going the other direction. I think I need to spray a little bit right here. Whoops. Oh, I'm still spraying. I hit the wrong switch to turn it off. There we go. Drop her down. Are we getting pressure? Okay, that's not much. I don't understand. This is way harder than it looks. There's too much going on. I bet we got a problem with clogging again. But I can't tell really. So now we gotta head this way. Please don't be killing the beans as I drive over them. I don't know. Maybe if I turn to, oh, I don't want to turn too sharp. I forget that. Bust some of that off. For overlap, yeah, that's probably like a foot or two of overlap. And then we should be good. So, we need to turn this one on. We gotta go and flip the switch and see if we can get 20 PSI. Not 20, is it? So that's not enough. So I think I gotta run the thing again. Or check my filters. That should have done it. I just had a valve in the wrong place. All right, here we go. Now, foam marker on that side, and rev the engine a little bit. Let's flip her on. We should. Man, it's only going to 10. Why is it not building pressure? It should be at 20 psi on that little gauge right there. So I gotta figure out what's still not right. go to 20 psi, please. I don't understand why it won't. It's spraying some, but really not much. It makes no sense why. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I've tried everything I could think of. I guess I could go check some of the other filters and see if those are full of junk. And then I could check the nozzles, because if those filters are clogged, that could be the problem too. No, that tip, we could check a few others, but that tip sure isn't clogged. And when they're spraying, they look like they're spraying pretty well. Now, there is a filter There's a little gunk in there, but not enough to stop this from flowing. Same with that one. Nothing. That screen's clear, so that's not it. Let's just double check our valves here. That's open. Comes through here. That's open. That goes then up to here. Maybe that has to be open. Maybe that was it. Because then this goes... No, but that goes up to the top of the tank. So, I don't know. We could try that. I know this one's this way. So it flows this way, goes in here. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be closed. Maybe it's supposed to be that way? I don't think so. Comes up through there. Let's just follow this. Comes into here. I believe it goes through here, not through there. It goes through here, down through this hose, over to the pump. That pumps it up through this, which then I think comes through here. No, that doesn't make sense, does it? So we're just gonna back up to the fence so I stop killing all these beans. Why is that always the case? As soon as you get one thing working, then other things break. We're gonna lift her up so I can actually see what's going on with the spray. All right, I think I figured it out. I can set the pressure with this thing, and somehow it got turned way down. Because now look at that, we're going up towards 20, right? There. Now we're spraying, isn't it? It is. There's one nozzle I see that does not look like it's spraying very well. So I'm gonna go check that one quick and see what the deal is with that one. Okay, I think we got her now. Let's just try it one more time. And it would just be flipping this up, and we should get 20 PSI. There we go, we got 20 PSI and she's spraying. Okay, there we go. I gotta remember where I was. And here we go. She's spraying. Is she foaming? 20 PSI, that looks good. Trying to get us to 6 miles an hour. I hope I went far over enough that way, like to overlap my last spray, but okay, so when we get to the end, I'm gonna shut the spray off and then shut the foamer off. And then we gotta turn, but not too sharp. I gotta try to not take out too many trees with the boom there. Try not rip my thing off either. So we're going to stay in that row. I need to flip this foamer on, starting, and turn it on. There we go. Now we're spraying, get us up to 6 miles an hour. All right, it's working. We're overlapping good. I just got to keep it driving straight. Oh, I need to drop it down again. That was the other thing. I have it up way too high. Gosh, this foamer is nice. So great. Don't even have to get out of the tractor. All right, we're gonna let that last foam drop, turn that off, turn the sprayer off, do a nice U-turn without letting that hit the fence. All right, where's our foam? There it is. We're not gonna hit the fence, so that's good. We need to line up. I think that looks all right. So we need to start spraying a little further back. Tell me when you see some foam. There it is, and here we go. Spray is on, 20 psi, and we are spraying. We're only overlapping a tiny bit, so I'm gonna move over a little bit. There we go. Now we're overlapping, I think. It's kind of fun once you get going here. There's a lot to do, isn't there? It's more than the planter. At least, I guess this is my first time, so. Let's turn it back on. I see liquid coming out, but foam's not coming out. That means air is not coming out. That means there might be a leak. I gotta go check it out. The air pressure's not working on that side of the foamer now. So I had to just switch the foam to that, but it's, whatever. Annoying. Okay, so now we're gonna turn this foamer on. That one should work. Let's make sure though. That one's kind of struggling too. We have plenty of fluid. I guess it's working now. All right, so let's flip on our flow and start going. All right, let's go 6 miles an hour. Got good foam. So worst case, I'm gonna have to go out every time and switch the line over for now, so we can figure out why that other side went out. So now, I gotta go switch the, we're gonna lift her up, I gotta go switch the hydraulics around. Then we'll lift her folding now. Man, why is it always something? Just work. They're plugged in. What's happening? Why won't it fold? It's worked like a million times. It's like this thing just quit functioning. There's power. That's going up and down. Come on, baby. Maybe the thing's not plugged in all the way. Oh, yeah. Just sloppy farming on my part. Okay, it still's not working. Maybe it keeps popping out. There it goes. Why does it just stop? Look at that. It just stopped halfway. Oh wait, because it popped out of. Is it so obvious? Oh! I have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, it's true. I don't. I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay. Let's head up the hill before something else breaks. Well, we got a tree down here. I gotta go see how big of a deal it is. This, I don't think I'm going to fit in between there with that sticking out. So I need to go, I think we need to get the chainsaw and see if we can cut these up.
After spending some time with the chainsaw cutting the way open through the path, we were able to finish all the spraying for the day, and round one of spraying all of our fields was completed.
All right, well, the weeds are sprayed. We got it all done, and I think that gives me a few weeks where I'm not gonna have to do much in the field. And honestly, one of the reasons we became crop farmers is because, and not like livestock farmers or other type of farmers, is because I think with crop farming, you've got some windows where you can go do some other stuff, and we love to travel. We have our off-road truck, camping truck, and a camper, and then we have a home in Arizona in Phoenix, and so we love to go out west, spend a little bit of time at our home there, and then get out in the desert, get lost, and just really explore out west. So we're gonna do that for 2 to 3 weeks is the plan. But one of the first things we got to do is make sure we get internet. So I got the Starlink satellite internet thing going, and I just reactivated it for the mobile plan, because I don't think I've shared this on our YouTube channel yet, is that we run an accounting firm for real estate companies all throughout the country. So we serve, a lot of the big real estate teams throughout the United States and Canada, and we do all of their accounting for them. And so that is a business that I'm involved in to a certain degree and need internet for while we're on the road. So we got to get the satellite hooked up to make sure we got good, strong internet via Elon Musk.
We are leaving on our trip tomorrow. We're going to be gone for like 3 weeks, and we got a little bit of work to do before we go. So I'm up early this morning. It's raining outside, but we've got to fix some fencing. And then secondly, we got to cut some trees up because we had a big storm the other day and a bunch of trees fell onto a fence as well as into the field, onto the beans. And so we had to clean that up. So come with me this morning. I'm up early. It's wet and rainy today, but it should be fun. Here we go. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is grab some work gloves. Chainsaw. All right, so let's go see what we got here. Here's one of the trees that went down. This is the smaller one of the two. We should be able to cut that up pretty easily and get it out of here. This is the one. This is a little bigger chunk that hit the fence. Well, it doesn't look too bad. We should be able to push that over too. And then we got, you can't see it from here, but around the corner over there, we got another tree that needs to, it's a bigger one. So let's get started. All right, first tree is done. And I ate one bug, got whacked in the face by a branch, and now I'm full of mud, and this is what I love about farming. Follow us as we share with you all the ups and downs of becoming new farmers in a modern world as we go from suits to boots.